welcome to this episode of Stacy's Kitchen. And on today's episode, as you can see, I will be showing you how to make a lovely hot cross bun and also a lovely pink salmon casserole. So stay tuned for that. So I'm going to start preparing my ingredients. So I have my fish, I have some vegetables, I'm actually going to be using some cream of mushroom in my casserole today. So I'm going to start with dicing my tomatoes. You can also use a tin of diced tomatoes, but I like using fresh vegetables. And this is very simple. It's basically like a one pot again. I'm going to put some pimentos as well. And again, it's the Lenten season, so most people will be having things like fish, you know, vegetarian stuff, inclusive of fish. All right, so I'm going to be chopping so I'm just rough chopping everything, basically, because everything will be going to saute together with the fish. So I'm using some pink salmon. So you can use like a whole fish and you can steam it and shred it, or just to make life easier, I mean, we have stuff in tins already. And it tastes just as yummy. It's how you put it together. These vegetables look so pretty already. We know we have to go in with our local bandania. So I'm using fresh seasonings as well. I have some thyme. And I'm going to put a little piece of this Congo pepper, as we call it in Trinidad. I got this pretty tomato as well in the market. I'm using a good few tomatoes because it gives it a nice moist texture. So again, I'm just rough chopping everything because everything is going to go into one pot and saute together with the fish. And guys, remember the full recipe will be posted. And our WhatsApp number is 393-ACTN. Feel free to message or call with any questions that you may have. So I'm just about finished chopping my vegetables. So again, I have tomatoes, I have onions, I have parsley, pimentos, and some hot pepper. I'm going to be adding some of my Chattox garlic sauce. I love using my Chattox herbs and spices. So I'm going to add a little piece of ginger to this. So I got myself some fresh ginger as well. All right, so I'm just gonna chop my ginger up into some tiny little cubes. Ginger smells so yummy. All right, so there we have it, our chopped or diced vegetables. And now I'm going to start cooking my ingredients for the fish casserole. So because I'm doing fish, I'm going to be using a little bit of coconut oil that is infused with lemon. All right, so it will take away some of that fishy smell, as we see. So I'm just going to let that heat for a couple of seconds. And then we're going to be sauteing some of our onions and peppers and garlic and whatnot. All right, so time to saute. My oil is nice and hot. So I'm going to be adding some black pepper, some lovely Chassak black pepper, some chili powder for a little spice, and also some paprika. I'm just going to go in with a dash of salt to start with. So my vegetables are smelling really yummy already, and the fish hasn't even gone in as yet. Alright, so I'm going to be adding my fish. Alright, so I did use pink salmon. It's really nice and meaty and flavorful and also very healthy. Alright, so I'm just going to let this saute probably for about 10 minutes until everything is combined nicely. And again, guys, if you need to ask any questions, feel free to contact us at 393-ACTN. And don't forget, we have some new times every Monday and Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. And all of the shows will be live on Facebook and YouTube as well, so don't forget that. All right, so I'm just going to let this saute for a couple minutes, and then we're going to be adding our cream of mushroom, and then we're going to be putting the entire casserole together.
Welcome to the Chattak's Kitchen, where it's tastier and spicier. For even more taste, cook with Chattak's Amchar Masala, saffron, ground jeera and black pepper. Mix in Chattak's mild, spicy or Madras curry. Get a burst of excitement with a mango amchar, pomsade and mango kuchila, lime and pepper chunks, West Indian hot sauce and lime pepper sauce. Plus, Chattak's tamarind and mango chutneys are perfect with kalori and sahina. So make your kitchen a Chattak kitchen. Chattak's fruit products, bringing good taste to life.
my fish is ready, so I'm gonna set this aside. So I'm going to be using the same pot, and I'm going to be doing my tomatoes with my cream of mushroom. All right, so let me just, I'm going to put everything in here. It smells so yummy already. All right, so I'm just going to add a bit of salt. Some black pepper. And we're going to give this a toss. So I have some lemon infused water. I'm just gonna let the tomatoes saute in or simmer. And the reason why I'm using the lemon is to cut the, as we say, the freshness of the fish. I'm going to let my tomatoes cook down into a sauce, and then I'm going to be adding my stuffing to this. So my tomato sauce is ready. So instead of using the tin, I used fresh tomatoes to create my own sauce. So I'm going to be adding the stuffing to this. And I just use a regular store-bought savory herb stuffing. Alright, so I'm just going to combine all of this. And I'm going to add a bit of mozzarella cheese. As well. And I'm going to be adding my cream of mushroom sauce. How yummy is that? And very, very simple to create. Voila! So my topping is finished, so I'm going to put my casserole together now, and then it's going to go into the oven for 30 minutes on 350 degrees to bake. Alright, so I'm just going to grease my baking dish a bit with some non-stick spray. So first layer is going to be the fish. So I'm just going to press that in there. So let me turn my stove off. And now for my topping. This smells so yummy. Let me get all of this goodness in there. All right, so we're packing it on. That looks so beautiful. Some more cheese. Who doesn't like extra cheese? So guys, you saw how simple and easy that was, right? And I'm just going to top it with some breadcrumbs. So I'm using some panko breadcrumbs on the top. And I'm going to sprinkle some Italian seasoning. And just a little dash of olive oil to give it a little crisp on the top. All right, and now it goes into the oven. As I said, 350 degrees for about 30 minutes.
Welcome to the Chattox Kitchen, where it's tastier and spicier. For even more taste, cook with Chattox Amchar Masala, saffron, ground jeera and black pepper. Mix in Chattox mild, spicy or Madras curry. Get a burst of excitement with a mango amchar, pomsade and mango kuchila, lime and pepper chunks, West Indian hot sauce and lime pepper sauce. Plus, Chattox tamarind and mango chutneys are perfect with palori and sahina. So make your kitchen a Chatta kitchen. Chattox fruit products, bringing good taste to life.
So time for our hot cross buns. What is Easter Sunday without some nice warm buns for breakfast, or you can even have it as a dessert after you finish having your salmon casserole. All right, so I have all my ingredients basically prepped. So I'm using about 3 cups of flour for this, and I incorporated some of the Chattox spices in it, the elaichi powder, nutmeg. All right, so to give it that little yellowish look, I'm going to be adding a few drops of just yellow food coloring. And I'm sort of making it traditional. It's not going to be the normal, you know, so I'm adding everything into it. So I have some melted butter, an egg. Of course, I have my milk and I proofed the yeast in it. And now I'll be adding the raisins and the cherries. Now, not everybody like, fruits in theirs, but I'm doing it, as I say, the traditional way. And I'm going to be incorporating all these ingredients to form a nice soft dough. All right, so I put some sugar as well into the dough. So we're looking for, let's say, a sticky consistency at first. Now, there are different ways to actually do your dough. I think in the very olden days, the dough was actually very firm. But, we put our own twist on everything now. So I'm just going to use my hands for a bit, just to knead it in. All right, so on my floured board, I'm just going to fold it in like this. All right, so you have to get your hands dirty to get that nice fluffy dough that we're looking for. So you see how lovely that's coming in there. So you just place in your hands under the dough like so. And we're going to just leave this to rise for approximately 30 minutes. Well, basically until it's doubled in size. So my dough has risen nicely, and on my board I'm just going to be cutting them out into maybe 1 inch. It depends on how big you want your bun. And I'm just going to make them into some tiny dough balls. And it's going to rise again for about 30 minutes. And then we're going to bake them on 325 degrees for about 30 minutes or less. You can check. Just stick it with a toothpick just to make sure it's cooked all the way on the inside. You will notice when it goes into the heat, it expands a bit more. So I try not to make them overly big. All right, so we're going to let our dough balls rise for about 30 minutes, and then we're going to bake them, as I said, on 350 or 325 degrees for about 30 minutes. there we have it, our yummy fish casserole. And again, I used ingredients that we have in our pantry. I used some fresh herbs and spices. And now I'm going to dig into this yummy meal and let you know how it tastes. So it's piping hot at the moment, so we're gonna have to scoop this out. And I've just paired it with some parsley potatoes and some of our local greens and some cucumbers. All right. Ooh, this looks so yummy, so yummy. Oh, look at that. All right, so let me dig in. Hear that crunch. The top is perfect, crunchy, yummy. Guys, you have to try this. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Guys, make sure and try this recipe. Remember the number 393-ACTN, and make sure and look at us every Monday and Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. The shows will be shown live on Facebook, so feel free to comment, ask any questions you want. And special thanks to Chattuck for all their lovely herbs and spices and everyone who contributed to making this show a success. See you then.